right. Where was I? Okay, we are trying to get stuff to save to our persistent data store. And something weird is happening. So I'm let's just test this. So we log in, we save it. It says it's saving it. And then when we rebuild, it does not seem to be there. Let's step through everything. So we init the storage. DB. I've rebuilt since this. Let's look at their docs again. Record.get. Well, let's test that. So we'll save a value, and then test is going to be a wait. I'm just gonna use this. And we'll put something here. Let's make sure that we can at least get it unpersistently. So when we log in, saving, and then getting it again, but then when I rebuild, it's null. Rest session provider. I'm gonna, in case this is somehow removing it, rebuild. Yeah, it's just not, the data's just not saving. I'm doing something wrong here. Like it's saved, but then it goes away. I'm doing this right? Setting it. Take my string store, which is this. And then is put not the right? No, put's the right one. What? Okay, we're just gonna do something just to make totally sure. Also, is there maybe, let me find Sembast on pubdev. So like something I need to do with my entitlements. Whoa, 404 page. That's never good. Notepad Sembast. db.dart. That's just a DB record. Is it a provider? Note provider. Snapshot to note. I don't think I have to do this factory thing. Unless I do. Let me just, I guess we can test this. Let's initialize. Let's save a value. It's gonna be the same kind of thing. Dot record key. foo bar. This is an int. Int map store factory. Okay, so we'll just put 1 here. Dot put. Use our database. Whoa, what the heck? db and value will be hello. Oh, it's supposed to be a map. Hello world. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll save this value. I'm going to get rid of all my testing stuff here. I'm going to save a value to our note store. And of course, I'm not running my app anymore. We're just get to the bottom of this. Okay, so so in theory, it would have set this value. So now let's do await note store dot record 1 dot get db equals this, and we'll print our v. So now if we rebuild, we should get that. We do. Okay, so maybe it is something to do with doing my factories. So are these just, is this just like the abstract interface? What is this? Store factory base. Like I just want to store strings and stuff. I don't want to store a map. Map of object. Store factory with key. Like over here in their docs, they just do something like storeref.main. Wait, I saw this somewhere else. Doing storeref. Oh. Yeah. No, it's off. Store factory base. I know. Can I just get this done? Yeah, like here they have this. Store ref, store put. Okay, let's just do another test here. So I'll make something called store. Let's just call this. Then we'll literally, let's actually just use the same code. We're going to save it to the database. Cool. So let's save that on startup. And now, instead of saving it, we're going to do final. And we'll print our v. Let's see if my username comes up. It does. Okay. That's good. So why? What am I doing differently here? Record key. Is it because I can't actually use... I wonder if I can't use these as keys. That's probably why. Sorry, I need to... I'll be right back. Yes, right back, as I said. Okay, so I'm thinking that because I'm using a enum to store this stuff, it's not really working properly. So what we can do is, why does it get, that's annoying. Gets rid of my semicolon. What? I really don't like the new Dart interpreter, to be honest, or like formatter. It just getting in my way. And now all my projects, like anytime I'm committing stuff, if I've just touched a file, it's like everything's different. And my PRs are so confusing now. Um, okay, final string. We'll just call it like name or something. See, like I'm supposed to have a semicolon here for this to work, but it kept erasing it for me. Const storage key, this dot name, and we'll just say access auth access token. Doesn't really matter what these are called as long as they are unique. So now what we can do, let's close this. So really what I'll be using here is strings to store these, which means I need to change this to strings, but I'm still going to pass in a storage key because that's just like type safe and super nice. You never want to be, I mean, if you don't need to pass in a string, that's always the best. So here you just go key.name basically for all of these. I'm just going to go bop, 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 and we'll just type in .name. Okay, so let's try this out now. Let's refresh. And let's log in. Then I'm going to refresh again. Oh, I still have my username. Wait, what? Hang on. Actually, let's keep this here because it's working. Where's this null coming from? That's maybe just coming from somewhere else. Yeah, let's actually get rid of that and let's print our. This would be the string store dot record, and here we use storage key dot auth access token dot name dot get, and then the database. Okay, so let's just print this when it boots up and see if we actually get anything back. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's not been initialized yet. That makes sense. Let's do it here. Okay, right, I didn't actually await it. Okay, we are storing data. We are storing data. So yeah, I think it was just, you can't actually use an enum as your key in our storage provider. That's fine though, because this will now, in theory, work. Okay, so now let's actually see what's going on here. Let's print it here instead. And we'll make it really clear. Stored access token, stored access token. Oh, okay, I am getting it. I don't know where that null is coming from. I probably shouldn't just put prints. Okay, there we go. So it's null when it tries to do current user, which is the root of our problem right now, but let's figure out why. If it equals null or refresh token, let's also print refresh token just to make sure, because that would obviously be causing this issue here. Store, yep, okay, we're good. So we know we have it at this point. So there's just an order of operations that's wrong, or, okay, set token, state equals this. I'm just trying to solve this one thing, and then I'll kind of catch everyone up with what we're doing here. I'm revisiting a project, and realize there's a few things missing that I need to actually use this. Okay, so we had something open here. It was in here, yeah. Okay, so when does current user get called? Let me just rethink how this works. Close everything. Main.dart. We're not using Supabase, so it doesn't matter there. Then we have our app. We have our current user provider. Okay, current user provider. That's fine. Let's go to our router. Redirect. Okay, user state. So I think this is what's doing the redirect. Or is our current... Oh, maybe it's just because our initial location is this, and that's the whole problem. Wait, what was this supposed to be? Movie. Still brings me back there, which actually is good. So something's because I should be being redirected back. So this is this is probably just redirecting us back. Let's just return out of here. Whoa. Oh, you have to return something from this. Server exception. Probably because I'm not authenticated. But that's just redirecting us back. Okay, so something in here needs to wait, basically. What I've been liking doing is actually in my, wherever I have my material app, we actually have, so we're reading the auth provider. Is that the one we want to be the auth booting? Okay, when it inits, it goes, it gets the current user. This is kind of what I want to figure out the order of operations here. Let's see booting. I'm just gonna do something for a bit. We're gonna watch our auth provider, and we can go if auth state is auth state booting, meaning we're just like, oops, kind of getting set up. We're actually just going to return a material app, but we're not going to have a router. And our home is just going to be a scaffold with a child, with a body of center, child, circular, progress indicator. I guess the whole thing can be a const. Is that what we're seeing there? And in theory, what that will mean is until everything's ready to go, we won't actually try to route anywhere, which is kind of what I want. Okay, cool. So now, for some reason, our current user look for the Django. Auth provider, Superbase, ServerPod, Django. Okay. Wait, this is the same friggin' file? No, it's not. Wait, what? This is the auth provider. Okay, this is the auth data source, yes. Okay. So basically, at this point, the session of access token is not set, right? Checking access token in current user. So let's see, that is going to get called, obviously. Checking access token in current user. Now the storage part. We're gonna go to our REST session provider. Here we go. Okay, so let's just go print setting token. So let's see the order of what happens here. I'm guessing this is going to happen second. Oh, yeah, the setting token happens after. I wonder if what we should actually be checking is this, not our auth state. So let's do that. Let's do REST session provider session state. I want to check if it is. So what do we have? We have booting. We want to have if it's booting, REST session state booting. Then we just have this, and then we do all the other things. So let's see the order of things now. Check. It's still checking it first. And I think that's just because we have this guy right here. Okay, yeah, that's what was calling it. So really then this, we can kind of just invoke here, which isn't the cleanest thing, but. So, all right, refresh. This guy's, let's go. Let's put you up here. Oh, you can go up there now. No, you can't. Can't click. What the heck? Okay, don't put your guy up there, I guess. Okay, yes. Okay, we got it. So basically, it checks. Yeah, now we're setting the token before, and then this goes. Okay, cool. Now auth provider. Let's break other things. Another option is we could do something like if constants.server backend equals Django. We can actually just await maybe our init of the storage service. The problem is we specifically want to call it here. Or is it the storage one we want? Actually, maybe it's not that. What were we waiting for here? The session provider. If we await the initialization of this, let's just see if we can even do that. This ref.read rest session provider dot. So what I think I'll do is have a I'm just gonna play for a minute and basically move all this stuff here. And that's synchronous, so that's fine. So we'll wait the initial load. Then we wouldn't really need this anymore. Okay, so let's do that and go to our main.dart or app.dart. And we can, in theory, put this back where it was and get rid of all of this. I think. But if this doesn't work, we know how to do it. This is working too. I like this better because it keeps everything specific to Django and the REST API kind of intertwined in there by doing this. So we await it. which this is actually let's actually call this initialize. It'll be cleaner. So we'll just click through to this. Oh, wrong one. Click through to this one. Initialize, initialize. And it's like kind of the same thing. It's like what? Cool. Same everything. Okay, let's go to our prints because we probably still have some prints. Nice. We can also get rid of that. I'm okay with prints around errors for now. And let's just, I'm just gonna make it so I can see this when I refresh a bit better. And we can make it a little bit bigger. This might look like an iPhone simulator, but it's not. This is a Mac app that's just shaped like an iPhone. But what's cool is, look, we can make it bigger. We can make it bigger. And then you got the little menu on the left instead. Oh, yeah, it's responsive. Okay, let's just see how this actually boots. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay. I think that solves what I've been trying to solve for the last little bit. Get status. Oh, that's changed. Did I not Oh, I could have committed earlier. Okay. So let's just we did some cleanup and then we um, set up set up storage class, storage provider. We now have a storage provider. Yay. We're using Sembast. I love Sembast. It is superior to all other storage clients. We got some questions in the chat. Let me just make this commit and we will get to those. Cleanups. And we did getting auth stuff, auth session persistence. I also deleted a whole bunch of files. Okay, so yeah, what are we doing? I'm working on my framework, my meta framework for Flutter. Well, it's more than for Flutter. It's a full stack framework. We have Osama. Oh, Usama. Hey, what's up? Not much. You? Just trying to fit some code in before going to bed tonight. And yeah, so because I'm starting a new project tomorrow, new a new app I have to build. So I'm kind of just revisiting my starter project called Houston. Uh, Earlier today I got it all updated, the Flutter side of it, to most recent version of Flutter and all these other things. And now I'm cleaning up some stuff that I realized was missing from it. What Houston is, it is a Flutter on the front end, and it gives me or anyone who wants to use it different options for the back end. You can use Supabase if you want, probably the easiest of the options. If you're not familiar, check it out. Basically like Firebase, but with a relational database. You can use ServerPod, which ServerPod's really cool, full stack Dart framework for Flutter and Dart with like code generation and stuff. And then you can use Django, and Django is my go-to. I love Django when it's the right choice. So that is what is on. That's our backend option. And in fact, the project I'm starting tomorrow will be a Django backend. So I kind of I'm just fixing up some stuff to do with it, which is always fun. So basically, it comes out of the box with it's just meant for just saving you a ton of time, and I'm talking like hundreds of hours of time. And I've used this a lot, although different variants of it over the past, and I've refactored it and remade it and rebuilt it many times. And I keep using the newest version on newer projects. But what it kind of does is allows you to um, save time not doing all the repetitive stuff that every single app every single app needs. So it comes with the basic stuff, like it has auth already. Like if you go to core, there's stuff for auth, like authentication. There's stuff now for storage. We just added storage into it. There was storage in a previous version, but I never had it in here. um, it has stuff for like image uploading and cropping. It has blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. It uses clean architecture. So basically, every feature. If we look at a feature, which I got a core, but for instance, the movie feature, it's broken into. Didn't mean to do that. Data, domain, and presentation. So you essentially have different data sources, mappers that kind of like take the remote data and make it the same kind of thing in both directions. You have repositories, and then you actually have what's cool about this and why I wanted to use clean architecture for this specifically is it does let you use either Django Serverpod or Superbase, and the idea is like say you're like building it in Superbase and you're like, you know what, I need more custom control. You don't have to rebuild your Flutter app. You really just have to update your data source for that particular, all those endpoints and stuff. Or just use the ones that are going to come with it if you're just using the basic CRUD. But from a front end point of view, it's all the stupid shit. You have a list view, so there's only one thing in here, but that is a list. We have the detail view for it. You have an edit view, so we can, of course, just save this and I could upload an image and all that kind of stuff. You'll see it just changed, blah, blah, blah. We have adding a new one. So, we can do like, what's a good movie? I don't know any good movies. Coneheads. I wanted to Contact. I'm actually not sure what year that was, but I'm going to say it was like 1995, maybe. Images I have to fix. Something's, I think, broken with them. At the current moment. So look, you got that. And of course you can also delete. So we can delete this movie. And that did not seem to work. Is that just a UI issue? It was just a UI issue. Let's fix that. What could be going on there? Let's just add a new one. Oops, I click the upload button. I think that's going to throw an error. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on with the delete. Maybe we'll just step through it on the UI point of view. So yeah, presentation layer, it's all broken into your providers. There's different types of providers. Everything in the presentation one is kind of like providers for your UI that manage like the presentation state of your thing. So lists and forms and that kind of stuff. Whereas there's other providers for, data and whatnot. So yeah, we have a screen, movie edit screen. Let's just kind of step through what's going on here. Where's delete? You would think it's, oh, maybe it's part of the form. You have widgets. Probably the form widget. Let's look for delete. Okay, so it deletes. All right, that's probably the problem. It doesn't seem to actually. Oh, it does. It's supposed to invalidate. Oh wait, is this reset being called on itself? What's this? Oh, but that's fine. I think reset, refresh controllers. Okay, it's supposed to invalidate the movie. Oh, it's just invalidating. See, that's a problem because or let's just do it's ref.read movie list provider notifier. Oh wait, what is movie infinite list provider? Let's double check what it is. Okay. Argument. Oh, because it. Oh, I see the issue. This should. This is a family. So I think I can invalidate it, but I need to actually pass in the family, which is, what are their family options for this? I think there's just, I need to zoom out one. Sorry if you can't read this anymore. Movie infinite list provider. If we go to this, wait, yeah, it should say, yeah, string of arg. What is the arg used for? What? Let's look at the list widget. Variant. Okay, variant. Movie infinite list. I see the. Oh, okay, variant. So it should be just dot all. Oh my God, this is so big. So I'm just getting used to my new computer a bit. I'm just gonna move this back over here. Okay, so where were we? Where were we trying to fix this? I was on the delete. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Okay, let's test this out now. Green arrow rebuild. There are questions in the chat. Any links we can see? Yes, of course. I will send you some links in a moment. I've built lots of things with this framework, or at least variants of this. Okay, let's just try deleting this. Delete movie. Oh no, why is it not? Is that not the one we're using? Let's look at the screen. Movie, no wait, movie list screen. Got an, okay, so movie list widget. Okay, the variant is just that. So why? Okay, we have the delete. We get the delete. Let's just say like print. Oh, it is, you know what? This needs to be dot refresh. Oh no. Dot what is yeah, dot refresh. Oh, dot notifier dot refresh. And the reason is we're not actually storing the state. The state isn't we basically need to say, hey, you need to refresh this. I'm pretty sure that's the problem here. Let's test this and then I will answer your questions. Contact 1995, save, contact, delete. It's gone. Look, I mean, it was always gone. It just the UI wasn't updating. Okay, yeah. So back to the chat. This is really great. Yeah, this thing's sick. I know that example is just boring and whatever, but trust me, you can do a lot with this pattern. Stuff I've built in this before. If you go to my website, um, tylersavory.com. So Surf Music, the app for them, which is built in Flutter. The web, it's mostly just a web app, but it's built in Flutter, which is basically using the same sort of principle. A little bit, it's an older version of it because I started making this like 3 years ago or something. Um, HDRI is actually currently a native Swift app. However, the original version of it, except for some parts that had to be native, was actually done in Flutter and using my same patterns, more or less. Story Place, same thing. Um, you can check these things out. Basically, they are apps, cool. And then actually the part of this project, Verified X, the GUI is actually built in Flutter and uses the same framework or a variant of it again. In terms of anything built with this exact variant of the framework, minus tweaks, the only thing I have to show for that that's reached production is Dashhost. So Dashhost is my Flutter web hosting service. So as you can see here, might look kind of familiar to what we were looking at because it's, kind of similar, except I got some weird bookmark thing. How do you get rid of this? Um, so it has, list view. Well, that's probably a bad example. Most of my apps here that I'm actually hosting for myself don't have a lot of the things. But here, this is kind of a little more like what you're probably used to and or what we were just seeing. So yeah, this is built in Flutter on the front end. And the back end's also built in Django using the same, using Houston. So it's very powerful, although like this has a lot of customization on top of obviously the starter project, as any app should. You shouldn't just ship something that's just CRUD. But yes, some advice. You just started programming. Awesome, Rajix. What do you, what are you trying to, what kind of stuff do you want to code, or what are you coding? Because that will help me address the question. And second part of the question is, what do you want to do with it? Are you trying to get like a job at a company or a startup? Are you just trying to do it as a hobby? Are you trying to make something for yourself? Give me that insight, and then I can answer your question a lot better than just randomness. And yeah, okay. So let's see what else we can do here. Oh yes. So I need to fix something then. Movie form provider. So here we have the delete. I need to open up Houston CLI bricks. I need to figure out where this is actually located. Um, reveal in Explorer view. So this is in presentation providers. Bricks, Flutter feature, presentation providers. This will probably be really confusing to anyone who doesn't know the context of what I'm doing right now, but it's very important. So this needs to be ref.read infinite list provider dot notifier dot refresh is what we did. And then in here, we actually have to have this. And then right here, if anyone's actually paying attention and knows what I'm doing, please let me know. Yeah, I need to figure out. This would be Pascal case. Yeah. So what am I doing right now? Well, I'm editing the source code that generates the code for Houston. Basically, the real power of Houston is you can essentially create a blueprint. So for instance, the movie blueprint looks like this. It's like, okay, it's a title, it's a year, an image URL. You know, title is a type like char characters. It can have max length of 100. Years are integers, and image URLs are like a URL and specifically an image, and it's allowed to be blank. You basically create something like that. There's a lot more options, obviously, and stuff. Let me see if I can find a more complicated one. This one got a bit more. It's got like a description and a price, which is a double, whatever. You get the idea, maybe. And what it does is it generates all the code, everything you need for that whole feature. And a feature is usually like represents a model. So in an app, in Instagram, one feature would be like your post, but another feature might be like a comment, if that makes sense. All right, cool. So we have a little more context, AB. Yes, the framework is available for public use, although I don't have any documentation for it. It's still a working progress. I do really want to spend time pushing this thing out for not for my own benefit necessarily, but just for, to help people. Because I think it's like productivity awesomeness. And with everything going on with AI and shitty code and like things like Flutter Flow, if you're familiar, like I think like the world needs something that's actually like clean code and not just like spitting out garbage. And this is very good code. Um, so to get to it, oh yeah, let me, I realize I said I'll put this in the chat. Oh shoot, I'll have to type it over here. I don't have my monitor set up correctly. So I'm putting into the chat my website. And then for this, it's github.com. Let me find it. You can go now and you can see my most recent commit. I'll try and type this one up. github.com/Tyler Savory /Houston. So yeah, you can get this now. However, I'm not in a place in my life that I can really fully support it. Like if you can figure out how to get it running and use it, that's great. I do have some other videos in the past kind of like showing a bit about it. But this is a priority for me at some point soon to like actually make docs for it, make it like a product, although it will be free. It'll be open source. I do think there's ways for me to monetize it on the side in some ways, whether if it gets popular, which I think it could, as well as build. I already make tons of money off of it in some ways because literally I've probably made like $1 million in the last 15 years of work just using this for client work. I know that probably sounds like a big number, but it's really not because I own a business and that money goes really fast. But but yeah, definitely check it out if you want. So basically what I did now is I made a change to the template. So this is actually like the template files for all the files, and it actually is like follows the exact same pattern, and it's really confusing looking because it whatever. And the reason it has like snake case and Pascal case is it's literally like saying use this name, but put it in this kind of casing because sometimes it needs to be like uppercase letters, lowercase letters, dashes, that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to like when I make a change in something that was generated, I want to like fix it here too, so I don't have to like solve that problem again. Cool. And then yeah, let's see. So so you're learning. Okay, so you're learning front end for website development. Cool. Um, Yeah, I mean, web dev's huge. I love doing web dev. I do a lot of web dev. I like Flutter too. I like back end web dev a lot. Front end, I mean, if you're just starting learning, definitely like learn a bit about HTML, learn vanilla JavaScript. Like, don't dive into React or whatever right away. Get the basics kind of figured out. Um, I have some advantage because I've been coding like most of my life. So I kind of went through with like I used to code in vanilla JavaScript because it was literally like pretty much the only thing, and then there was like Moo tools and all this stuff, and then jQuery and Backbone Marionette, all this stuff before even React came out. So I kind of like had to learn in that way. Whereas I think people now, it's like there's all these like things that take a lot of the complications away, but in some ways make it way more complicated. So yeah, just learn that kind of stuff. I would, recommend, although like, I think CSS is important. We are getting to a place realistically where, although it's still good to know, like things like Tailwind, honestly, like if you can like learn Flexbox and really like learn Tailwind and use like things like ChatGPT in a smart way and not just like take everything for grant like what they say is as like truth, you can get a long way without like necessarily learning. I feel like I don't even write CSS anymore. As like sometimes I have to like tweak something or like something custom, but like Tailwind is awesome, and you're just kind of like adding like all these nice classes, and then especially if you use something like Daisy UI on top of that, you get just a really nice looking site. Like I built this site in like maybe like 5 weeks part time. This is just the landing page for it, but um, it's a full like Discord meets blockchain meets crowdsourcing sort of project. And it's Tailwind and Daisy UI. Actually, I don't even think I used Daisy UI for this. I think it's just straight up Tailwind. No, no, I'm using Daisy UI for this. Um, and like, there's no CSS. Like, there's no like, I have a CSS file for like a few things and defining a few global things. So definitely check out Tailwind, because it will make your life a lot easier. CSS gets a bad rap, I think, because like it can be complicated, I guess. So it's not really. I think the biggest problem is like it's built on so much like backwards compatibility, and there's also like so many convoluted ways of doing things because you kind of had to hack things back in the day before browsers supported it. Now like so much is supported. Like you can center things in a div now. It's pretty cool. um and then yeah, any example project you can share? I feel like I answered that already. I've shown a few. And then yeah, Houston you can get to by just going to here. I will be right back in 1 minute. Okay, back. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Okay, cool. So we fixed that. We fixed that. Um, oh, there's no settings page. That's okay. Do I have a profile? Oh, the profile button doesn't work. What's with that? Or is that what even is that supposed to be? Let's go to the right project. Main drawer. What is? Oh, yeah. Hook up to profile route when ready. When ready. Do I have a profile route? Profile routes. It seems like I do. Yeah. Profile list screen. Wait, what the heck is this? Profile detail screen. Let's just find out what that is. So we want to pop, and then we want to do context dot push. Um, let's see if that works. Oh, not found. What? Oh, because I need to put an ID in? Yeah, I need an ID. So the ID would be the user. User.id, I guess. It's supposed to be an integer? Wait, is this just a model I generated? I think it is. Let me see something here. Auth. This part of auth. Profile. Maybe profile is a model I generated. Yeah, that's not really what we want. Right? Is this a, yeah, profile. Okay. Why is the ID? Wait, why does profile detail screen supposed to have an int? Do I need to just parse it? User. Oh, you know what? Wait, profile is actually a different model. Let's just look in the back end. Logos 8,000. So yeah, for context, okay, yeah, there is no profile model because it's just the user model, but it has all the things. Hmm. I feel like this could just be a one-off thing or something I just don't even care about right now. Because I think the server pod one uses the profile. Let's just see. This is a complicated project because I support 3 backends. Let me just see what model is it. There's a profile. Okay, so we just haven't generated it. And is profile a one? Wait, profile.spy.yaml profile list. What do I call everything? DTO. Yeah, okay. So maybe I just need to generate the backend code for profile, or just not worry about it right now. I don't really want to worry about it right now. We're just gonna keep that to do there. How do we go back? Hey, look, I can drag it. That's good. Okay, cool. We got this. We got our edit page. Everything's good. Let me go to my to-do. Yeah, docs. Yeah, profile management. That's the next thing on my list, of course. Some additional auth stuff like password reset or whatever. Routes get from namespace rather than hard coding the string. Oh, I did do that. Movie routes. I don't know what that means. Yeah, double check, delete. Oh, look, this we did. This we did. Yay. We can mark that off. Okay, well. Yeah, like how do I want to handle profile stuff? So the problem is serverpod, you have to kind of do as a separate model. You can't edit the user model in serverpod, but Django lets you edit the user model, and I kind of like that. And then how do we do it in Supabase? There's a profile. So yeah, and yeah, Supabase, the same kind of thing. So maybe we should just be doing that in Django, actually generating the model. Let us actually just over here, get status, get add dot, get commit dash m. We fixed the delete list invalidator. All that is good. Okay. Okay. So I've pushed just in case I break something. Okay, so we're gonna go to the CLI now because I haven't touched CLI in a bit. And we are going to generate the profile model. So if we actually look at profile, it has a username, first name, last name, avatar, bio. Now for our cases, we definitely don't need a username. In fact, models, sorry, let me just check something here. So core features, auth, data. Where did the core models? Domain models, that's it, right? Okay. So this is our user model, which seems to work. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Let's try and fix images uploading. Let me edit this image, because when I click upload, what the heck even happens? It's like nothing happens. Upload image widget. So this was use the image picker.pick image. Like, let's turn on breakpoints again. Where do we do that? Right here. All exceptions or uncaught exceptions, I guess. I see that you cloned Houston. You should do a git pull right now because I just pushed some new changes. What is why isn't this upload button working? Let's just do a print here. Upload. I do see the rest of your comment. I just okay, so what? Is this just I'm pretty sure my entitlements for Mac release or debug entitlements for Mac OS. It's not an entitlement. It should be an info plist Mac OS. I have stuff. Oh, yeah. Look for uploading photos. Okay, so what the heck is going on? The pick image. Let's go. What is this called again? Image picker. Let's look at this. Image picker. Image picker Flutter. Okay. Installing. We did that. Okay. Is there anything? Mac OS that I'm missing. I know this works on Mac OS. I've used it. Okay, the plugin code may support for this. It's a wraparound file selector. Of course, camera's not supported. That's fine. Okay. Oh, let's see if I have this anywhere. I do. Oh, but that's only my release entitlements. Do I need to have my debug entitlements too? Entitlements, debug profile. That could be why. So we're going to stop our app because this is a native change. And we'll rebuild. All right, while that's rebuilding, you're a Flutter guy for some years now, but you're learning Golang. Golang is great, although I've never fully used it. I've just played with it, and I do have a project coming up that I might use it on. Um, but it is definitely a neat language. Is there a way to maybe learn all of this with Houston, server-pod style backend and front? Is there a way to maybe learn all of this with Houston? Maybe. I mean, it's kind of the point of this is that it's flexible. Like you can use Serverpod, although Serverpod's done a lot of updates recently that this hasn't kept up with, other than the fact that today I updated all the Serverpod packages. Like it compiles, so it might work. But yeah, it really depends on what you want to use your backend. It works really well with Supabase. You just have to kind of manage the Supabase side yourself. It will generate the SQL for the tables, although it might not be perfect. But yeah, and if you've cloned it and you kind of know what you're doing, and you want to make any pull requests, fork it and make me a pull request, and I'll check it out. But yeah, I think this has come from just like years and years of experience and specifically in like developer experience. Because I just like to make not just code that's like good, but code that's like really reusable and really like has a pattern to it so that if someone else comes on the project, they can just follow the pattern and it's not like them, reinventing the wheel every time. Let's see if we can upload an image now. Yes, it was just that entitlement. Look at that. Now here's the thing. This is a new computer. I literally probably have no pictures here. So, or do I get pictures? Oh, I do not. All right, well, what is this, Jurassic Park? Let's do it. Now we're gonna find out if it's working. I don't think it will be, um, but it's one step at a time. Yeah, we'll just put it in the downloads folder and let's try to upload this. And look, it crashed. ServerPod client shared. Must end it. Wait, why is this even trying to talk to ServerPod? God damn it. Image upload widget. Okay, so it's using the asset. Oh, what? Asset repository upload image. Okay, hang on. Asset repository provider. It's using the asset data source provider, which, yes. So it's just, I don't have this set up for Django yet. That would be why. This is a fun project. Let's go to my to-do. Oops, it's over here. I'm going to say this is a medium task, but we're going to put it here. Images for Django. In fact, I think I've already kind of done this. Let me just open. Oh, I don't even have this. New computer. I don't even have this going. Oops, I didn't mean to go there. I want to go to. I'm going to clone this right now. We're just gonna make a new directory. Start getting dash. Oh, I do. Oh, I already have this. I already do have this. Okay, I'm opening up a real project, one that is in the world. And let's go to the image upload widget. Oh yeah, this image upload widget is way better. I should just pull this in. This handles like cropping and stuff. I'm just gonna do it. Let's save that. This is fine. I'm actually just gonna minimize this. I don't like to have more than two VS Code windows open because then I get confused. Okay, let's go to our image, upload image widget. Let's see if, yeah, this is like a super basic one. We're gonna replace it and we're gonna see some errors because we need to install this, which, yeah, we can do here. I am using FVM, so FVM Flutter pub add crop image. And we still have some errors, potentially. And it could just still be loading. Crop controller doesn't like that for some reason. Okay. No, this is good. The only error is with our actual implementation. Yeah, the upload implementation, which I'm gonna actually see. I'm gonna pull all this stuff over. So Dash Host was built in Houston, but I mean, anytime you use the starter, you fork it at some point, right? You don't just like keep working in the starter. And I did a lot of work in this project, and now I'm going to reap the benefits and bring them back to my world. So we can probably just, the cool thing, I mean, this one's a little bit more complicated because it is like kind of a core piece. It's not just like a feature, although, or is it a feature? Hang on, it is a feature. So I could actually pull all of this stuff over. The only problem is I would lose the other stuff. So you have the widget. Yeah, let's just kind of want to just pull it over, but I don't want to lose stuff. I'm just gonna stop building because I think because of the image copper I might need to rebuild anyways. So um, okay, so let's see what's in here. Because yeah, I have the server pod and the super base one already done. So I definitely want to keep those. Let us, I'm just gonna, I want to merge these things basically. Everything else is fine. Yeah, let's just rename this to asset old. Oh, but then all my imports are going to be messed up. What's the best way to do this? I think, you know what? I think, okay, let's just save this. Let's do this actually probably in Finder. It'd be easier to merge these things. So we're just going to put two windows here. And okay, Houston Flutter, and then we want to go to dash host app, and it would be in lib features asset. Okay, so let's get the same thing here, lib features asset. See, when you find a good pattern you like, it's really easy to just like pull things from another project and get it in. And I mean, this would be really easy if it was fully done, but the thing with when I forked to make Dash Host, I kind of just got rid of all the stuff to do with Superbase and Server Pod because I was like, I'm using Django for this. Okay, so on the data side, let's just data sources. So we want to definitely pull this guy over. Then repositories, we actually want the new repository. And then I think everything in the domain, is there anything, I just want to see if there's anything super base. I don't think there would be, but I know clean architecture at all. Yeah. So basically I can just delete these and grab this stuff. And now we'll be almost good. We are going to have some errors. So let's close that and let's go to asset data sources. So these are going to say like you haven't, or that's just an import error. That's fine. That's the server pod implementation and similar with this asset data source. There we go. So we do have errors, obviously. And the reason is that our actual data source now is supposed to be called upload. And it works differently. I think. Let me see. Yeah, it's totally different. I don't want to break that stuff. unless we can, all this stuff we can probably get, except what is project ID? What the heck's that used for? In the asset repository, project ID. I don't know what that's for. Oh, that's actually something we don't need, I think. Is it because does the project ID use, let's yeah, like I don't think we need project ID. This is my data source from earlier. Everything else is fine. Okay, so Supabase, it's an X file that comes in, which is just like a file. It's really hard not to break things for other things. Bytes file name. Well, let's just try to do this. Upload. We're going to override upload. However, I don't think project ID is necessary. Why did I need that? Let's find out. So I'm going to open up a third VS Code window to actually look at the asset URLs. So, oh, it's because it's just part of the URL, happens to be part of the URL, which we don't actually care about. Okay, so let's just get rid of project ID here. This is the interface. And then that way, now we can get rid of this here. We can also, let's do the same thing here. And yeah, throw an implemented error is definitely like what we should be doing, which we are. Okay, cool. Save that. Now we will have errors, of course, over here, because this has a project ID, but this is just going to be /asset now. We don't need that. We don't need that. Then the upload for asset repository also doesn't need the project ID, which is going to create even more issues. We can get rid of project ID, and then get rid of project ID here. I love Dart because like refactoring stuff. I mean, any type safe language, is pretty good at this, but I've just had the best experience with Dart and Flutter for like making these kind of changes and then having all the errors. I find in TypeScript, it's like does not get imported. You have to like, you either get a runtime error or like you have to open up the file to see the errors. Like you don't get this, it just never is as good. It's called image upload widget. That's why. Oh, now because it's totally different, right? Well, let's import it and find what the problem is. And then this is now something that will actually have to be changed. I'll do this change last because this is something that's actually needs to change inside the source code of our generator. Image upload is it? Image upload is it? Okay. So that's fine. Those are both in the same file. I'll keep that unchanged. And then let's go here, although see original version below and tweak. I mean, I can probably do this right now. Like basically I need to take this code. The difference is this would get an X file, which I feel like I can just fix this right now. Let's still keep the throw unimplemented. This is supposed to be async. I don't know why. It annoys me that when you do the autocomplete for an override that's async, you don't get the async word there. I know it's not necessarily necessary because you don't have to have this here if you're just returning another async, but like generally you're going to want to do async. Okay, so the name we need to get from, it's just going to be the file name. Oh, yeah, file, that's right. Regenerate file name dot split. We just get the last thing. That's how you get the extension there, and we're just generating random string. For stream, which do we use stream anywhere else? We do. What is stream actually supposed to be? uploader.upload. It's a stream. Um, okay, that's fine. But for length, we can just get that by going bytes.length, right? We already have it at that point. File name we're using, content type apparently doesn't matter. So can we just upload the bytes? Is there like a upload bytes data? Look at that. And we don't actually want to upload. Okay, so here we just want to actually upload bytes. Which, what is this? It's taking byte data. How do I convert byte data? Byte data dot, no. And this is a great time for ChatGPT. How do you convert? What are we trying to convert here? We have this to byte data. Wow, that was fast. Just like, here's the answer. Hey, I was kind of on the right. I was kind of on the right path here. Byte data.view bytes dot buffer. And we shouldn't need any of that anymore. Sweet. Get rid of this. I'm not going to test this. I have no interest in spinning up a whole server pod instance right now to test that out, but I think it will work. And that's what's cool. That's what's cool. Now, for Supabase, it should be basically the same thing, I think. What do we do here? Generate random string. User not authenticated. Avatar file. I don't know why it's called that. Image.read as bytes. Okay, so let's just, what do we actually do? We basically need, this is like the key thing we need. So let's put that there. Where does path come from? Okay, path is just this. So actually we do want that. That's why there's the user check here, because we have to store it in a user bucket or something. Image.name, we already know what that is. It's just going to be file name, in which case we don't need all of that. This is supposed to be async, remember guys? Avatar file, that is, okay, avatar file is just supposed to be bytes, I guess. So is it the same idea? We just take the bytes. Oh, look at that. And we're done. Sick. Get rid of that. Okay, let's commit that before I do this other change. Right? Actually, I won't. I'll commit. I'm not going to push because I potentially have someone like a Kinwhale who's already cloned this. What are we doing here? Yeah, front end, new. Let's just call it new image picker, or yeah, new image upload widget front end implementation. Yeah, I won't push just yet. No, yeah, I'm going to, but you will have a build error if you try and run this right now. And the reason is I want to fix these errors in two places. So we'll fix it here first, image upload widget. So, okay, so what I need to do is, okay, let's just minimize this for now. We will have to go to the Django side in a moment. Okay, so back over here. Nope, we don't need this open either. Actually, what do I need? We need this open. Okay, so we need to go to our blueprint. Nope, we need to go to our bricks for a Flutter feature. And, oh wait. Yeah, I do. I do. This is in the domain. No, it's in the presentation, widgets, something with the form widget, yeah. Okay, so there's something. Oh yes, form inputs. This actually is done in a different way. Form inputs, form inputs. Where does form inputs come from? There we go. Yeah, so this needs to change here. Basically, the new thing we need to grab is, let me just change it to the same thing, dot dot slash, dot dot slash, dot dot slash. Oh yeah, it's literally just this instead. Okay, that's easy enough. Which is called image upload widget. So we'll make that change. Um, then we need to actually make the changes here. So what does image upload widget actually use? Well, let's actually make that change too. So we'll just do it one thing at a time. Oh, where does that come from? That's the form widget. Form inputs. Right. It's done in this really ugly way, but it's the only way to do it. Okay, so this needs to become image upload widget instead of upload image widget. Easy enough. Then, yeah, so this should be now called on change. Is that what this is supposed to be? Yep. Okay, so we change on change, on change. It's a lot more work when you have to like fix your stuff, but it makes less work in the future, I assure you. Okay, is there a label? I guess it's called title now. So we'll change this to title. And URL. Current URL. Hey, this isn't too bad. Current URL. Current URL. Okay, that's actually all. Oh, what are we missing too? Missing on remove. So let's add that on remove. I'm assuming there's no thing in there. And provider dot set image URL. Can I do null? No. Is there a clear image URL? Ah. I mean, I guess we could make this allow null. Oh no. Oh, maybe just an empty string. Is that what the default is? I think that'll work. Because what is, let's just look at state.movie, for instance. Yeah, it's just an empty string. Okay, so that's what we do. So now we just basically do the same thing. Okay, yep. And then on remove, same idea, but make it blank. Okay, cool. So now we have that, and we should still have, no, we have no other errors. That's amazing. All right. Let's just do generator updated or new. Oh, I should be committing this actually here. Generator updated or new image stuff. We have a question in the chat, Tanega. Will I be able to watch it later? You will. I mean, I probably not if you're going to work. Not while I'm live here, but you can of course watch it on demand and rewind it and rewatch it again if you want. What time zone are you in, by the way? I know we talk all the time. We talk all the time on Discord. I forget where you are. If you're still here, I know you have to go to work. Let's push those changes. Beauty. Let's actually test it out. Actually, it's not going to work yet because we also have to make the backend changes, which actually these backend changes should be pretty easy because this isn't something we need to worry about code generation for because the asset endpoint will just be built in. Let's see. So I'm going to open up Dasho service. We're going to just hide the Flutter app right now. And yeah, we'll just do it in here. So let's look at the old way of how we're doing it, if there even is one. Django API. Look at that. It doesn't even exist yet. It should be there, I think. So let's go to here. API. Look, there's a whole asset thing. I should be able to just go and I'm just going to do this in Finder. We love Finder. Oh, there it is. So we're going to grab this and Hopefully I remember which thing we're on. This should be Houston Flutter. So we're going to go to Houston Django, and it's in API, and we're just going to paste in asset here. Now we'll go back to our code, and we should see it in here. We have API asset, init.py, empty file. That's what we want. So there's a path and a content type. URLs. URLs, this is what we needed to change. It's just going to be hit this, and we're good. And then we have the view. So what is this view? Oh, look, we need to bring some more things in. Let me see if I have this somewhere else. No, I don't. Okay, we're gonna pull some other things in, but okay, this is pretty simple. This will be easy to do. We don't need project, any reference to project, I don't think. Right? Key, yeah, because we were just using the slug. That's the only reason I had that. I forget why. Cloudflare public base URL. We're using Cloudflare. We might just change that. Okay, so a few things to fix up here. For instance, we need our S3 utils. I feel like I already have something for this. Files. Maybe I don't. I should probably just open this. You know what, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to actually save that, but minimize it. And go back to Houston, but then go specifically into Django. And just open Django isolated. That way, when I'm searching for things, I don't have weird things happening. Okay, so S3, Botto. Actually, let's just search for their Botto. So we do have the default storage set for it, which is great, but we don't have any of the utilities that we need. So back here, let's go back to our views and let's just grab these things. So we're going to grab this. This is project utils S3, something like that should work. Project utils, yeah, storage, or let's just do S3. I'm going to call it storage. I feel like that's better for this. Yeah, let's just use Cloudflare. Like, screw AWS. You can easily use AWS. Like, this is S3, Botto. It's basically like Cloudflare just decided to completely like re-implement the S3 API so that it would be just compatible with everyone's things. And the only difference is like you use this as your endpoint URL instead of using, you know, Amazon's default one, which in Botto you wouldn't even have to have this. It's just it knows what to use, but you can override it. Okay, so that's good. We have all that. Then what else do we need? Let's go back here. Get random string. Yeah, we're gonna have errors on that. Wait, how did I close this? API asset views. Yeah, get pre-signed URL. So that actually we need to import. Should be able to just auto import it. There we go. Get random string. Hey, look. Slugify with slash. That's cool. Let's see what that function is. This is like some weird hack. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is a fun function I made because it has a real purpose here. I wanted to have a slugify function, but still allow slashes, forward slashes, as well as periods apparently. And so what I do is I convert all the oh, yeah, that's fine. I convert the slashes to just this special thing called slash and period, and then run the slugify, and then literally like set it back after. That's what that is. Okay, cool. So we need to go to here and actually there's probably some other. I can probably just grab all this stuff. I feel like, yeah. Okay, cool. And then the other thing we need to do is in our S3, did I not even have S3 settings? Settings, storage. Oh, yeah, this is where I'd probably want to put it. Although there's probably an AWS. There is aws.py. Where do I keep this? I just want to. figure out something here. This is in. Oh, I literally have a Cloudflare up high. Or yeah. Um, what's this used for? Oh yes. Okay. Let's just make this. And then if people don't want if people are using this and they don't want to use Cloudflare, they just can remove this and it's fine. Um, and we need to make sure our settings uses Cloudflare or imports Cloudflare. That means now we need in our .env. Where's our AWS stuff? AWS. Let's just put both together. Now the problem is testing this. I guess we'll call this my Cloudflare account ID, and we need this too. Okay, now I want to make sure that my docs, or at least my env example, why do I have two? So weird. And I can say, also, let's just make these. Make them required. Yeah, actually. Basically, if you don't, we can set it so that if you don't have these, maybe, let's see if this will be possible. In our storage utils, endpoint URL. So let's see what, it's hard to friggin', wait here, endpoint URL, none. So we can do something where if, you know, we can basically go like that if Cloudflare, if settings, .cloudflare else none. So basically, if we don't set the Cloudflare ID, or if it's like blank or whatever, it'll just negate this completely, and then it'll just use your normal AWS stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And then what was the other instance? There's another instance of this. It was not that one, but the other one, Cloudflare. I'm all over the place right now. This one. This is used here in the view. We can say something like if settings.cloudflare, just copy and paste it. We'd basically do that. Else URL equals, and here we would do it's basically, I forget what is the in AWS S3, what is the URL pattern for a file based on the bucket, etc. Bucket name and key, etc. Thanks for hanging out, Rajix. Good to have you here. See you again, I hope. And I hope I feel like maybe I skipped over your question, but no, we talked about it a bit. We did talk about it a bit, Tailwind and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, have a great night. And thank you for the kind words. We just want like the basic one. It's just going to be basically this. So it is, we use https:// bucket name settings dot AWS storage bucket name dot S3 dot default region. I think this will work. And then it's just basically this /key. Nice. Now, personally, I kind of hate this. Like I don't like that it's like it's being defined here or here. Like it feels like it should be defined here, as like none, right? And then like do this or this. It just feels weird when like you can do this. This is totally fine to do in Python, except it will cause an issue if this was like an elif statement and then you never actually got this. Um, this would be better as like a ternary function, but it'd just be such a long one. I mean, let's see how it would look. Basically, it would be let's just try this out. URL equals this if you'll see what I'm doing here. And ternary functions in Python are a little bit weird. They're not the normal way like you would do in JavaScript or Dart or like any other language. This works for me. So like the way you do it, instead of like in a ternary function usually, because like in JavaScript it'd be like, foo equals, bar else, it'd be like A or B, right? So it's setting foo. If bar is true, it'll be A. If bar is false, it'll be B as like, example. But here you're actually going like, okay, the URL is this, if this. So it's kind of like the order is like, it is A, if this, else this. It's like a weird way of doing it. It's kind of actually like good, like how you would explain it in English, which is I think what's going on here. And I imagine like, actually, I haven't used Ruby in a long time. I feel like Ruby probably does something similar because Ruby's very like elegant in that like languagey way. Um, so we'll just do that and then we're good. Okay, let's get rid of that stuff there. This should work, except we are missing one very important thing. Our API URLs need to, of course, um, talk to asset. So let's just actually just put this at the top, API to asset to URLs. So when you hit asset, it will go here, and as long as it's empty, which it will be, it will go here. We'll do the create view. Apparently we don't need any of this stuff imported. And this should work. And what's happening here, just so you know, and I'm not going to set up an AWS account right now to like test this out. I know it works. There might be like a tiny bug that I need to step through because this is how we're doing in Dash Host. But basically, like this is creating a pre-signed URL. So what's cool is like Flutter will talk to the server, to our server, and be like, hey, I want to upload a file, and basically our server will be like, oh, cool, let me get that set up for you, and it basically um, goes and talks to Amazon on our behalf and says, hey, there's gonna be a new file coming. Can you give me like a temporary token basically to allow this person to do it? And then Amazon's like, sure, cool, here you go. And then we give that back to the client. And then what Flutter does, it uploads directly to Amazon. So it's not, if it was like a huge file, it's not going through our server, then to Amazon, and then like back or anything like that. It's just like, hey, server, set up something for me. And the server is where the secret keys are, that are hidden away. The client never needs to know because it just gets this temporary, basically upload URL. Yeah, put it here, and that's basically how it works. And that's how ServerPod deals with uploads as well, and it's how Superbase deals with it. Obviously, different implementations, um, but yeah, I want to do it the same way because I think that's the best way to do it. And that's just how I do it all my projects now. I actually have a series or a video on uploading files to AWS. It's very interesting because it comes from a lot of knowledge and trying to figure out, especially specifically doing multi-part uploads, which is like when you want to upload like like terabytes of data, as or just like more than. I think the pre-signed URL has like a maximum of a gigabyte or something, and if you want to do more than a gigabyte, you actually there's this whole flow you have to do if you want to do it really like well. And it's cool because it actually will run them in parallel. Like you can basically you can break up the file into like, a bunch of pieces and be uploading them all, separately and stuff. It's really cool. So check out that video. Just look at on my YouTube. That's where it would be. All right. So yeah, I'm not going to test this out, but I feel good about this enough to commit it. Cloudflare we added. Yep. Git add dot git commit dash m asset upload backend. Like I could test this pretty easily just by copying some environment variables from another project, but I really just don't like doing that kind of stuff on a stream. I always like I'm trying like my hardest and I'm like and then like the secret keys just show up and I'm like no, now I have to delete this whole video and rotate my keys. I don't want to do that. So yeah. But that should work. That should work. I'll get it working. I'll test it out on the next one when I have my real keys in there. Like right now, my environment, I only had it open. There's nothing secure in here. It's all like, it's all like localhost stuff for Redis, and then it's like, change me, change me, change me. It's fine. But I also don't feel like I'm tired of going into Cloudflare and Amazon. It's been done it a lot this weekend already. Okay, cool. So I feel like I can mark that off the list, right? Let's actually close this and close this. Whoa, Docker's running. Um, yeah, another improvement I did today or yesterday on Houston is just upgrading the way I do Docker, because I've started doing Docker in a totally different way in the last, or at least part of it in a totally different way in the last couple projects, and I love it. And now Houston does it that way too, which is great because I don't want to go back. I'm like I've migrated already a few new projects the way I'm doing it. It's really clean basically. If I can find, let me open up some stuff again. This is just, oh, this is Dash House app. We don't need that. Let's open up this. So you might notice also I have different colors, and I'm using this plugin, this VS Code extension called Peacock, and it basically lets you like set colors for your particular project. So that, like, for instance, here it's like very easy. This is like the light blue. I know it's like Flutter, and this is like the darker blue. It's like a different, a different thing. So I recommend that extension. It's actually really useful. If you're, especially if you, like, I'm always like shuffling between a bunch of projects, or like I'm working in like, full stack project that has multiple code bases. It's just nice to do that. Okay, so what was I gonna do? We're gonna go to the to-do list, because I feel like we got this working, but we have to test it. It's fine. I'm sure it works. Pretty confident. All right. Let's see. What is next? I wanted to do something. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you how my Docker setup works, because it's really great. It's nothing like crazy, but basically I have a Docker Compose. It has the web service, which we'll dig into in a bit. But that's like what runs Django basically. You have the DB service, which is just running Postgres 15. You have a Redis service running Redis 7, and then you have the Celery service. So both Celery and the web are running the same Django app, just in a different way, right? Like the Django apps, the web one's running Django basically as a web service, so listening for HTTP requests, and Celery is running the same application more or less, but just as a worker. And it's waiting for things in its queue and all that kind of thing. And Redis is the broker. So Redis, basically, like, the web will add something to Redis that then Celery will take over and do in the background, and so on and so forth. So these two ones, though, they build using the Docker file itself. So yeah, sure. Which is using Python 3.12 in this case, installs some things, does whatever, installs the requirements. This is a thing to just make sure that this is a file. Where is it? Wait for it. Wait for it basically is something just to make sure Postgres is running before it tries to do something else. Just whatever. And then makes the working directory of the app. Oh, I have the word Tailwind in here still. I shouldn't have that. That's fine. And then the entry point, which entry point, yeah, it just does it runs the migration, so that when you do a release, basically, like, it makes sure it's updated, if there's any outstanding migrations, and then if it's not production, it runs the server, the built-in server. And what's great about it is, let's just open Docker here. Let's actually oh, we had an error on web. Look at that. Oh, that makes sense. Let's just try and, yeah. Oh, AWS region doesn't match the supported format. Interesting. I guess I should just set this to like US West 2 or something. US West 1. I guess we just haven't, because I haven't any files actually accessing this until now. My AWS region, is this, oh, this is the example. I just changed the example. .env. Yeah, the env doesn't freaking show up in here because I guess it's like a hidden file. US West 1. I think that's name of a region. Then we have to restart so it rereads our new environment variables. Let's still see. I think we actually have to. So let's go into the into Django. So I have an amazing make file, and this is the best part of what I was showing. It has all these great helper commands. So basically, I can run make down, and it just basically runs docker compose down, so I don't have to remember what that command is. Then we do make up. Wait, I have Botto, right? Okay, good. So now, okay, the web's still breaking. Here we go. Endpoint, create endpoint, invalid endpoint again. Shit. We should just then change this, change these guys to be none, basically. And let's just do, was that the, maybe just a restart will work now. No, it doesn't look like it is. So we'll just make down and make up, or I could make restart, I guess, but I forgot. Let's go make file again. Okay, it looks like we're up. So yeah, it's running. So now, it doesn't matter what Python version I have locally, like, because I'm setting it in the Docker file, like everything's running in Docker. Previously, I would run like my database in Docker and Redis and RabbitMQ and all these things, and then I have to like run the web server separately. And it was just like, kind of would run into problems, especially as I was like upgrading my computers and stuff, like stuff would go haywire. But yeah, we should be running now. Post 8000. Yeah, we're running. V1. Yeah. Manage. Cool. When did I get signed out? I guess because I restarted the container. Yeah, this is the back end. It's just a Django backend with a bit of a theme, but it's cool. All right. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions about anything before I take off, or if there's anything you want me to show you. It might be fun actually for people still here. Let me just, maybe we'll just show just show the real power of Houston. Let's do it. Docker or env updates. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just show the real power of this because I haven't tested this in a long time. So we're going to CLI. Now, generally the CLI, let me just actually comment this part out. So let's go into the CLI package, and I have to remember how to friggin' run this. I think it's just like dart bin CLI.dart. So Houston has a CLI, and of course, there we go. I figured something like this would happen. I feel like I've updated this somewhere before, or, oh, wait, what is my Dart version? I might have to also put FVM here. 3.8.1. Okay, let's go to, let's fix this then. So I think it's just like this sort of thing. So let's do Dart pub upgrade. Is that what it is, or is it update? Okay. Let's see what changed, if anything. Git. So we can do a git diff on here, and we can see, okay, that changed, yeah. But the pub spec. Yeah, some different, we got some new things. Okay, let's see if we have any problems. So I like to, with my problems, actually filter out those things generally. Okay, cool. Let's see if that works. No. CLI.dart. Or was this just because we're gonna fix this right now? I just want to change this to maybe, let's do food. And then we'll get this working. I'm not sure. It could have been just this evaluate code that's actually messing stuff up. Okay, pubcat win32. What is even using Win32? Oh yeah, I feel like it's for this. Yeah, let's just it's because of it's like DCLI. Let's just look at DCLI. Oops, DCLI Dart. What version are they actually at? 705. Okay. I have to think for a second because I feel like I've come across this and upgraded it somewhere before, but I could be wrong. Either way, let's upgrade this one. I'm sure that's where it's coming from. I mean, I'm not totally sure, but like it's coming from all these weird files that probably this one uses. So we'll do a dart pub get, and now we'll probably get some errors. Apparently not. They made it very backwards compatible, and then we'll run this. Okay, cool. Oh no, I meant, wait, what did we do? We generated Flutter. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to show you what just happened. I'm going to show you what just happened because this is pretty cool. Now, there's probably going to be some issues. We'll find out. Let me just, I realized my camera came off somehow. Okay. Okay, so I just ran, okay, what I did is I just ran a, instead of like using the CLI, I kind of just have this thing in here that's going to run ultimately what would have happened if I typed out all this stuff, which I didn't feel like typing out. So we just have it pre-populated here, and it's using food. So food is just, it's going to find this YAML file, which has a name, it has a price, it has a description, calories, and an image URL. That's fine. And then we're saying we're only going to generate the Flutter code for this. Normally you could have all these turned on, but we don't. Okay, so what actually happened? Let's go to the Flutter app. So this would have made a whole new folder here, right? Called food. There it is. Now we're seeing all these errors, and I think that's just because of the code generator didn't run. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So let's actually kind of run this again. I'm not. We already generated the Flutter code, but let's run the post. Let's run both of these. So this will actually run the like build runner in that feature, and then also format all the code so that it looks prettier. So we're just gonna run this again basically and see what happens. So now if we go back in theory, it looks like it didn't actually run the generator. Maybe because, oh, I think this still has to be on for it to work. So let's, because yeah, this has to be on and then these. So there we go. So it updated the routes, did the Flutter code scaffold, did the file formatting. Oh yeah, upgrade routes was on, cool. And now it's actually running the build runner. So it's pretty exciting stuff. There's a lot of work to make work, but then it's like save me a ton of work. There we go. So now we shouldn't have errors. Let's just restart the analysis server. If we do have errors, my bad. Okay, we do still have some errors. I wonder what they are. Let's find out. Oh, this is all in server pod. Okay, and in Superbase. Okay, I don't actually care. So I'd have to run, right, I have to run the server pod generator for this too. What I'm just going to do for purposes of, yeah, I'm just going to actually delete these files. We really don't need them. And I should make it so that those don't get generated. We also technically don't need the mapper when we're using Django. Let's just see what the error actually is. Yeah, mappers only needed for server pod. And then in our providers, we need to make sure that, yeah, this is some stuff I want to change where instead, can I just like throw an error here instead? Yeah, I'm just going to return this. These are, yeah, some of the things I want to do is that if you're in Django mode, like don't even do the other stuff. And then food form provider, we do seem to have an error here. Oh my God. Remember when we made that little fix to put ref.read instead of ref.invalidate? I wrote ref.ready. Um, let's fix that. So that was in the form provider. And it would have been in the delete. Yeah, look, ref.ready. God damn. There. Okay, that's fixed now. And then I fixed it in the actual thing. So now there's no more errors now. So let's actually oh, but I didn't generate the backend code. But anyways, let's see what all got generated here. That's a shitload of code. So everything within, I'll just expand it all. Like literally all the files that are open here. So from here to, I can't even see it on my screen. Every single one of these files just got generated from literally a YAML file from, where is it? From this little bit of code. And of course, if your model had like 30 more fields, you're saving so much more work. And it's everything to do with the, yeah, like the listing, basically the stuff we saw earlier, lists, all the CRUD, list view, detail view, edit view, new, delete, um, uploading images, like whatever. And it all worked. Like even like the form widget itself, which has our new, oh, it's just using image URL. It's not actually, that's too bad. How did that happen? Whatever. Problem for another day. Maybe I'll put that in the README or in the to-do. That's probably a minor task. Generating, I'll say like seafood.yaml. It could have just been something with the YAML file, but I don't feel like looking at image upload, widget, scaffold, code. It's good to have a little to-do list in your project. Otherwise, you'll never remember. Or you'll just be in like you're just going to go down like a train of fixing things and then forgetting what you were originally trying to fix. So yeah, keep a to-do list. And I do like having, although I use Trello and stuff and whatever else for project management and blah, 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 it's like, it's just nice to have something like this in your repo. Then you're not switching contexts, and you're staying productive. But yeah, I made all these lovely code, things. And what's cool is like, there's also like this code too, the generated code. So this actually gets generated after, as we saw. Like we did this, and then the build runner does more generation on top of our generation. Now, our generation is different. It's not meant to be like, it's not like build runner where like the idea is like you're getting all this code to start with based on your thing, and then you like are ejected out and it doesn't get regenerated unless you want to regenerate, but then you'll lose all your changes. But there's obviously ways around that. You can rename the folder and run it again with your new model and pull things over. But generally, it's like just good practice to plan everything out, and then you save time. So yeah, now for this to actually work, we do need to go to, oh, some other fancy things that I think is really cool is like even our app router, it created the food routes. That's fine. That's easy to create, but actually added it into an existing file too. It added the food routes branch, which is just all the routes to do with that. And it's just because there's this token here that it looks for that's Houston's looking for. Hey, this is where you're going to insert a route. And there's somewhere else that this happens to, I think in the dashboard. Yeah. So you see that there's, oh, it should have inserted the nav. Maybe this was turned off in our CLI. Oh yeah, update navigation was turned off. Oopsie. In theory, I could safely run this again, but I won't worry about it. Maybe we will. Let's just run it again. Let's actually run everything, except for the migrations. I want to do that manually. Generate migration. You know what? Does this? Let's just turn it all on. We're turning everything on. I'm even turning server on. Okay, so let's run this again. And we've already made that change. So actually, I don't want to run. I don't want to do the Flutter stuff again because I do want to fix that thing where it imports the other stuff. So I'm going to turn off everything to do with Flutter, which actually I think if Flutter's off, it'll just be fine. This is kind of just a debugging tool, so it's not perfect. Yeah, let's generate migrations. So we're going to do server migrations and running the migrations with the same model. And let's see what that does for us. Generating code. Oh shit. It's doing server pod stuff right now, that's actually fine, I guess. I'm surprised actually there's no errors because I literally have not even touch. Like I upgraded server pod today from like 1 point something to 2 point like 8, like a big a big change. So I'm surprised like it's not throwing errors. But they've done a good job, I guess, at backwards compatibility. Oh my god, it's already past midnight. I gotta go to bed soon. Um, let's just see if this actually worked. So let's go inside Houston Django and go to our where would this be? Content? Models? Why is it? Okay, I'm just gonna cancel this. Why is it using oh, did I not? No, I'm using Django, yeah. Um okay, what actually okay, I'm just gonna make everything false except for generate server. Uh false. False, 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 false. Okay, let's run this again. Because where's my Django code? That's what we're trying to find. Running serverpod client generator. Oh, god damn it. If generate server. Okay, there we go. So I do want to make some stuff because it shouldn't like once you've kind of chosen like actually my plan for this is like there's going to be like almost like a CLI. Like the CLI is going to be the thing that you actually just download, and then you're going to start a project, and you're going to pick like I want Django or I want this, and it's going to pull the things that it needs, and you're not going to have all this stuff. But obviously, this is like the main version that needs to be able to work with everything, so it's all good. But let's see what happened on the Django side. So you'll see we got in content we got a models folder. We now have the food.py. So here's our food model. I'm just going to save it to get black to make it look nicer. And it has all of our stuff, right? Name, price, description, calories, all that good stuff. It has a manager. It gets the user because that's needed for the owner. Um, all that cool things. And then it also made an admin for that. So I have food.py here, and there's just the default, sort of stuff that it would pull in that you can then change. But where like the real, because like honestly in Django, making a model, this wouldn't take that long. Like that's, if you do it right, a few minutes of work. But API is a pain in the ass. Like look at all the files that you need for this, and it's not as much as Flutter by any means, but it's still like a lot. So there's the URLs, which has our list create view and our retrieve update destroy view. And this has all of our Django REST framework stuff for, just listing and details and blah, blah, blah. It generates our serializers for us. It generates the query sets, which actually, yeah, there's an issue here I mean to fix, to do. This is a small task. We'll actually put it here. Query set error in scaffold generation. And I'm just going to do that. I'm also going to move these to just like to next tasks. Probably something so stupid. What else did it do? Permission, it just made an empty file for permissions. It made our food filter, which is just kind of empty, but allows you just to not look at that, look back and do it. And that's basically what happened. And then it also did, there's one more thing I think it would have done. It would have imported this model somehow. Or I guess this wasn't a new module, so this would just, wait, must have done something else. Yeah, there it did. It did the import from .food import star. Boom. There you have it. I don't know if it makes sense to you guys, but that shit's killer. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go get status. Wait, did I make that? Shit. There's one change I want to, there's only one thing I want to commit. It's the thing it's this one right here. This is like the longest file name ever. I'm going to commit this one file, actually git add this and git add to do, git commit -m, little fix to brick. Then we're gonna push that change. So that just pushed those two files. So now I'm still going to have like all these issues here. But what we're actually going to do now is stash these changes because I actually was just kind of demoing this. Now we should just have, we need to also remove, or I can do get reset. Let's just get reset. Get reset dash dash hard head. God damn it. I just want to delete these stupid things. I don't want these here. I don't want these here. Houston client, lib, source. Yeah, I basically want to delete these. Houston Django. Yeah, I want to delete this. Because like new file, there's a way to reset this better, but I'm just gonna do it manually. It made all the changes of existing files, just not that. Okay, Houston server, lib. Oh my God. Okay, I'm just gonna remember how to do this in here. How do I get reset as in remove new files that aren't tracked? This is what we're looking for. Okay, remove untracked files, not directories. Remove untracked files and directories. Get clean FD. That's what we wanted. Boom. Now our stuff is good. Okay, cool. All right. I'm just going to look at a couple things. Again, if you have any questions, now would be the time because I'm going to take off very soon. Probably like basically now. I do want to see what. So name plural. I guess name plural is not. Name plural is not getting passed through. This is that query set issue. Oh, this is just the blueprint model. I feel like I just need to pass this through, I think, wherever that happens. Where the heck does that happen? Whoa, what the heck? This is a typo too. Django module serializer. Yeah, I feel like, yeah. Name plural, name plural. Where does name plural come from? Oh God. Where does name come from? Wait, what? What? What is this? Django blueprint serializer. Oh, okay. Blueprint serializer. Name. Wait, where did all these other things come from? Okay. String get name plural. Return blueprint dot name plural. That's what we want. Okay, that should solve that. So that should solve the query set issue because now this will actually be passed through. What was my other to do? I'm just gonna make a note. I don't really feel like running my code generator again. And I'm not gonna worry about that now. All right, friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. I'm in a good spot because yeah, I'm gonna be starting a new project and using this, and I think it's like pretty much a good enough spot that I can actually start that. And hopefully, while doing that, I will be also fixing things in the background so that the next project is even better. Um, have a great night. Take care. Bye.